everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left.
Good evening, welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday, despite everything going on with this self-quarantine and social distancing. We're trying to make it a little bit better for you and entertaining for you tonight. We welcome Tucia Lyman. She is a director and writer of the new film M.O.M Mothers of Monsters. It's a horror movie, but it's great. It's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. But she'll be on the show to talk about the movie and how the coronavirus has impacted Hollywood, because she's done a lot of production on a lot of different big time shows on networks, so we talk about that. And then at Hot Topics, we're breaking down everything everyone's talking about this coronavirus. Today was the deadliest day in the United States as it relates to the virus, as well as people scamming people now, with the stimulus check that's supposed to be coming. A lot of interesting things to talk about. We have to talk about Tiger King, the Netflix docuseries that, everyone's talking about. We're going to talk about all that in Hot Topics. I want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our official website is StephenKnightShow.com. You can also check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. Just go to our website, StephenKnightShow.com. When we come back, the question of the day and Hot Topics right back after this.
So we taking over one time.
I'm gonna suffer, I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. Destiny got the chasing, but the jupa she jacking. I'm gonna suffer, I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. Destiny got the chasing, but the jupa she jacking. I said the jupa she waiting, she checking, she looking like she not know what they are talking. I told her that trouble she causing, the way that she rocking and shaking her to my Onina Fatumata, put it on me like she from Kakatai. All the men is scatter, now bene awa in a chaklai. When you tie your lapa and you wear your skin test, when you rocking your tuma, Bange I want marry you, Chamu I want take you, anything you want I give it to you. Take my name, my money, my car, my clothes, my everything, oh. Suffer, Bange never suffer, I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. Destiny got the chasing, but the jupa she jacking. Bange never suffer, Bange never suffer, I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. Destiny got the chasing, but the jupa she jacking.
One play you non-see funk, get capping. Like I said before, hungry line blocking. Believe it, another scamming with bop it. Grab it, squeeze it with dry face. That the time you will be trying how to catch it. You know you're missing a casa bete. You fix it, all five, trying how to catch. Then you want speed series now till they get. Pretty girl, let me take you out of dinner. I got a cheddar, forgive me, I was a sinner. Gonna be better from January down to December. Take trips, go to spots even in the winter. So sexy, gorgeous, and beautiful. Everything that we do is so memorable. I'm feeling you from your head down to your toes. Don't have to speak on it, I'm gonna show.
I'm relying on the waiting, setting. Testing nigga they chasing, but they chupa she jackie. Forget never suffer, suffer, forget never suffer, suffer. Hungry lion they waiting, Panamera they setting. Testing nigga they chasing, but they chupa she jackie.
Anytime she walking, the boy them be watching. Anytime she walking, the boy them be jaking. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you blow my mind away. Anytime you turn like way, girl, you make me wanting you tonight. Forget, never, you never suffer. Forget never suffer.
Hungry lion they waiting, Panamera they setting. Testing nigga they chasing, but they chupa she jackie. Forget never suffer, suffer. Forget never suffer, suffer. Hungry lion they waiting, Panamera they setting. Testing nigga they chasing, but they chupa she jackie.
I love the way you call my name. It's a feeling I can't explain. Your love drives me crazy. You know it makes me go insane. I never thought I would fall this hard for a girl I barely know. No matter how hard I try, I realize this feeling I can't control. I can't stop loving you, loving you, girl, I want this forever, I want you always. I can't get enough. I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, I can't get enough. I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love. Is it the way you wear your hair, or the way you make me stare? Your love takes over me. Baby girl, you make me weak. And though I barely know this girl, she's always on my mind. A love story found in movies. This took me by surprise. I can't stop loving you, loving you, girl, I want this forever, I want you always. I can't get enough. I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, so addicted, I can't get enough. I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love. The way you move, the things you do, drive me crazy, crazy. Not ashamed to say I love you, baby, baby, baby. I never thought I would fall this hard for a girl I barely know. No matter how hard I try, I realize this feeling I can't control. I can't stop loving you, loving you, girl, I want this forever, I want you always. I can't get enough. I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, addicted to love. I can't get enough.
This is Kim Kimball, and welcome to the Steve Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how you feeling?
Happy Monday. I'm feeling good. How are you?
I can't complain. How is your social distancing quarantine going?
It's going good. It's going good today. I think I'm having more issue with pollen season. And
Yeah.
I went for a run this morning thinking that I would avoid. My car is blue. Dark blue, but it's covered. It looks green.
Yeah, mine's green too.
So I thought I'll leave early this morning and go for a run to avoid the pollen. And I got done running, and my glasses were full of pollen. I couldn't stop sneezing. I've had this sinus headache since, and it's just bad. So I was supposed to go out today. I went out at 2 to pick up some equipment, some workout equipment from our gym. They're loaning them out, and then after that, I was supposed to go to the store, and I was just like, I can't go back out there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Nothing else. The pollen will definitely keep you in the house. In Atlanta, anyways, it's been pretty bad. But other than that, I'm doing well. Staying busy and doing the things that bring me peace. So
yeah,
good. I'm doing
That's good. That's really good. Chicken, how you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I'm pretty good. I haven't really been in quarantine because I'm essential personnel.
Right.
But I did take some days. So I was off today, and I'm going to be off on Friday. So yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Taking it 1 week at a time.
That's good. Really good. And Nadia, how you feeling?
I'm good. I've been taking it in stride as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the best use of it. The best use of the time. Yeah.
That's all you can do. Actually, I went to a virtual birthday party on Saturday night. Nadia's mom turned 70. That was a lot of fun. We did it on Zoom. How many people were on there?
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. That is awesome. Happy birthday to your mom.
Her heart. Thank you, Ms. Parker. Her heart was just overwhelmed.
Was she surprised?
I think she was surprised,
yeah.
Man. She was totally surprised. She was happy to see you. I think it was 42 people total, but
oh wow,
many of those people had people in their homes.
Yeah,
it was more than 42 people. Yeah,
that's true.
It was good, man. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was awesome.
That was
so
nice
and
very creative. Oh, most definitely. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
All right. Well, my weekend was pretty cool. I didn't really do much. Much at all. I just, other than the party on Saturday night, I really just kind of talked on the phone, watched TV, that kind of stuff. But again, making the most out of it all. We're seeing so many people.
I think most people are trying to find creative ways to still socialize.
So yeah.
I think that was awesome. Nair put the birthday together for his mother.
Mm-hmm.
We have Teams, which is Microsoft's version of IM. Instant Messenger. So we did a virtual. At my company, it's a pretty large company.
Yeah.
Over a few million people worldwide, and one of the largest technology companies. And and we usually do Fun Thursdays, which at the headquarters in Atlanta, they have the 6th floor. We actually have restaurants and bars on site.
Right.
And
oh wow.
Usually when we're in the office on Thursdays, we do something called Fun Thursdays, which is they provide wine and beer for about 3 hours. It's a happy hour for employees.
Wow.
So hundreds of employees come out every Thursday.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we network and do stuff. So now that we can't do it, we're doing small. Our group actually came up with the idea of doing small groups of Fun Thursday. So we do the IM on at 4:30 on Thursday from 4:30 to 5:30. We use Teams. You can do video. So when I first got on, they were like, "We can't see you." I was like, "What? You guys actually made a video?" They were like, "Yeah." It took me a minute. I had to go upstairs really quick. Make sure I didn't have makeup on or anything, but I was like, okay, forget it, because I saw people logging on. The girls look all pretty there, and they had got dressed up. I was like, oh no. And I didn't have on anything, but I just went on. I went on about 10 minutes later after I opened my bottle of wine. I went on live, and it was pretty cool because it does a graph. And it shows you all 12 people in our group, all 12 people in the graph, and then one by one it brings you up throughout the whole thing. So you're front and center every few seconds. And then we got to meet our new director, little boy.
Oh, nice.
Girl,
yeah.
Daisy, she was in the video. Then he had to move away because she started taking her clothes off. It was and it was actually felt like like we were back together again. So that was pretty cool. That was really cool. But I saw a lot of that going on using Zoom.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
Hours.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do that so Stevie with our small group.
Most definitely, that'd be great. That would definitely be great. That'd definitely be great.
Yeah.
Well, today is National Doctors Day, so shout out to all the doctors and first responders who are caring for everyone that's sick and dealing with all this. So shout out to you all.
Yes.
Our question of the day is, how often are you watching the news these days? Ms. Parker, I know the answer, but go ahead and tell me.
Yes, so I have not watched the news since I left California. I watched the news once when I was out there. My dad came home from the hospital, and of course, the first thing he does is turn TV on. And I remember that day after, while you were going through the 24 hours news cycle, I tried to take a nap later on that afternoon. And I was having these horrible nightmares. I couldn't sleep. I know for a fact that constant bad news affects my spirit. I know that for a fact because I've been so disconnected from it.
Yeah.
That it has a immediate effect on my spirit. So I know that I cannot. I'm not. It's not that I don't want to be informed. I have other ways of looking up information, but constant bad news and the way the news is reported affects me. So I can't, for my own health, not just my own mental and emotional health, but also your physical health. Anxiety weakens your physical health, your immune system. So I choose not to watch the news. So the funny thing is, I have been at East Side for about 10 days. The guy I'm dating lives there, so I was at his place since I got back from California, a few days after I got back.
Yeah.
And they're just going on about their lives. There's no
the people in the neighborhood.
They didn't have any. That East Side of town didn't have any. Shelter in place until Saturday night at 9 p.m. So, but I came home on Friday, and when I got home, I was on the phone with you, Steve, and when I turned off the freeway, there were cops everywhere. I'm like, why are there so many cops all over the place? And then I went to pick up my debit card, which I had left at Arden Garden, which is a health food store. And when I went there, I was afraid of going in because the place was surrounded by police. It was the only store open, and so I beeped at the guy in the window, and I was like, "Hey, can I come in?" And he was like, "Sure." So I went in. They had all of the tables put away and chairs and stools put away, and he said, "No, you can come in." I said, "What's going on with all the police around?" And he said, "We have a shelter in place as of last Monday, so they're making sure people are not, out unnecessarily. They might stop you randomly." He was like, "They are making sure the stores are, abiding by the laws. The ones that are open doesn't have any chairs. There's no seating. It's all to go."
Yeah.
And they're also making sure that places that are not supposed to be open are not open. And I was like, "Oh wow, it's a real lockdown over here." Cause, on the east side, I've been living my best life.
Right.
So,
right.
I was surprised to see that because I had not been keeping it. The CDC doesn't list cities and things like that. So I've been going on their website to get the latest information. Of course, the Facebook will keep posting the latest information, so I'm able to see that. But I just didn't know. But on Friday, I think most of the majority of Atlanta, the surrounding areas of Atlanta, including the east side, 9 p.m. on Saturday went into shelter in place. So I think that pretty much the whole state is now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Chike, how are you keeping up with the news? Or how often are you watching news? I'm sorry.
Watch it every morning before I leave the house. I need to know what I'm about to walk out into.
Yeah.
So I try to filter out, what the orange dude is saying versus, what the people that know what they're talking about are saying, like i.e. scientists,
right?
Doctors, first responders, first-hand count experiences, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, especially because you're out there. You're out there, in the hospital. What about you, Nair?
I'm right there with Michelle. I do not watch the news. I haven't for years. I agree wholeheartedly with what she was sharing. My mom does. She's one of those people who just got to have the news. And I've gotten along all right. Maybe that's not for someone like Chike. I understand he's directly involved in some things that could affect him going to work and on his way to work and tired, many other things. A lot of things affect us too, affect me, but I seem to be able to pull the information from other people. There are enough people around me who watch the news, who are on social media in my feed and so forth. So I'm kind of able to get away without watching the news directly myself. I just can't take it. I'm an empath to an extent, so everything on the news that I see that's a problem is probably something that's going to weigh on me too heavily. So
I get that.
I stay away from it. But I do seem to get pieces of information that are usually timely enough. In my circle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I watch the news. I can watch the news all day long, but what I try not to do.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like what I try to do, I give myself days off. Like, for example, Friday I was off, and so I just watched Netflix. I binge watched that crazy show. What's the show, Miss Parker? The Tiger King. I binge watched that all.
Talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that. That's one of our topics. But I binge watched that all day Friday, and then on the weekend I don't watch the news at all. As a matter of fact, yesterday one of my friends was sending me, saying, "Are you watching this fool?" Talking about Trump. Are you watching it on? I said, "No." I said, "I gotta take a break on the weekends." But today, I binge watched all day, just so I can know what's going on. I like to know what's going on. So, yeah. Well, tweet us at home. Let us know how often are you watching the news these days. And again, you have to do what works best for you. You know what I mean? What works best for you, your mental health and your physical health and all that everyone discussed.
Right.
All right, well, coronavirus, some of the latest. Trump did extend social distancing he wanted to end it on Easter, but now it's till April 30th, but people are thinking it'll be a lot longer. I believe Virginia, the state of Virginia, they've extended theirs till the end of June. So what Trump was saying, I was watching the press conference, he was saying that they are allowing the governors to see what works best for them. So he was asked about Virginia going to the extreme. Most deaths in one day happened today. 519 people passed away today as a result of coronavirus. At the time of me putting together the hot topics, it was 486, but now it's 519 here in the U.S., and the number total in the U.S. is hitting 3,000 total. Now, that doctor, the head of the infectious disease, he's expecting around 100,000 deaths in the U.S. within the next few months. And so that's why it's so important that people are practicing social distancing, because what happens is the virus lasts 2 weeks. And so if people are at home, they can see where it's active, and they're able to combat it that way. But people are still going out, doing their thing. Someone posted a picture of people here in Atlanta. I mean, just chilling, relaxing, out in the streets, doing whatever. So it's important that people stay home and follow the regulations, because this is really impacting a lot of people. And I was watching some of the footage, and it's definitely not a pleasant thing. And what a doctor was saying in New York, she was saying that she works at 2 different hospitals, and she's seeing people as young as 30s. She's saying it's not really an age thing. Obviously, the recovery is better if you're younger and you don't have other ailments going on. But it's she's seeing it across the spectrum of ages. So everyone, please be careful when it comes to that. What are your thoughts on? Go ahead.
Let me add a few things if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, I have seen videos of people going to kickbacks and partying or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing that, the recommended number was 10 or less. But people are out there having, 50, 60
oh, yeah.
at their home.
Yep. House parties.
A party that was broken up in L.A. A house party that was broken up in L.A. It looked like 100 people came out of there. Testing out the police. I read an article that this is going to impact our community the most, because the black community because the economic differences in our country between blacks and whites. Black people are more likely to go to work those jobs that are considered essential. And so they're going back home to their families after dealing with the public, after dealing with us. And what we don't need is 100 people in somebody's house who may have it, and then 100 people have it.
Yep.
So we have to keep in mind that, of course, we are having fun and making jokes, that it is a serious thing.
Very serious.
And that because of the positions that we're in America, we're more at risk than anyone. Actually, if you think about it, And then also the same lady that you're talking about, I think I may have saw a slip of that, but she was also on 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's making rounds.
An Indian doctor?
No, she's black. She was black.
Oh, okay. There are 2 Indian doctors in New York City that are in the emergency room, urgent care, that most of the deaths are happening, and they were on 60 Minutes.
Okay.
The reason I watched the 60 Minutes episode is because it was more providing information than a scare tactic. There were people speaking to us with information, 2 doctors. And this is what they said. Age has to do with more of recovery, not how you...
Right, exactly.
But other than that, recovering from it, the 2 things are males are 60% less likely to recover if they're already sick, and also overweight people. So I know you guys are making fun of sitting at home gaining weight. That's not funny. Because the more you are out of shape and overweight, the less likely your immune system is going to bounce back from something this serious. And then I went on to read that the reason, and the statistic that she was given was more so on her, not only in New York City, but on her worldwide level as far as male having the most likelihood is because male are less likely to have their yearly checkup, so their health is a little bit behind in women. And then also in a lot of country, males are most of the smokers. The people who smoke have a harder time of recovering. So those statistics match. You have to put context with content, right? So you can have all these numbers, but then you have to make the numbers make sense. So just want to put that out there that, your health, the way you're taking care of yourself during this period does matter.
I agree. Most definitely. Chike, what are your thoughts? What are you seeing at the hospital?
Well, I just got a call over the weekend from my boss, and it was a pretty grave conversation because she wanted to know what was my proximity to one of my coworkers during the time that they were at work. Eventually, that coworker got sent home for being ill. Found out later, after the test came back, that coworker was COVID positive. Wow. And she wanted to know what was my proximity. And we have a break room that we go into, and we're in there, but we're not, on top of one another. We're all spaced out. Right. And her main thing was she wanted to know if, when we got into our space, if we removed our masks. We got more lackadaisical when we were in the room, and I told her no. That we're all still, geared up. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Just being around each other, we still have to stay geared up because it's not just about you. It's not just about your protection. We're there for the patients. Exactly. So if we're protected, we can protect the patients. Yeah. And I find that going on like now, like I said last week, when I go to work now, I have to get checked before I even come into the building. Yep. They're checking for fever just to see if it's the start of something. And if you have a fever, they pull you out of line and tell you to go home, and you're home for 2 weeks. Yeah. Just to see if you start developing symptoms. And this particular coworker began to get sick at work. They sent him home, but they did the test because he had symptoms and found out that he was COVID positive. Wow. So he's home. Wow. So now I think half of our team she sent home just because, as a precaution. Right. Not necessarily that they're sick, but just as a precaution.
Exactly. Wow. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Our employee work, we're dwindling down. Our numbers are dwindling down, and Philadelphia hasn't seen the wave yet. We're gearing up for it, but what we're finding is we're starting to get some of the equipment in. Yeah. But we're starting to lose some of our people, so it's going to be either or.
Well, I saw Cuomo was asking for people that are working in areas that aren't heavily hit if they would come volunteer and work in New York, because New York they have more people than they can handle, and you saw a lot of people coming out of retirement to come back and help. One woman, she was a retired, I believe she was a nurse, and she went on to become a professor, but she came back to help. She said it was her calling to do that. So people are stepping up. Naya, what are your thoughts around all this?
I think people should just stay home. I don't understand what's so difficult. I don't think it's that big of a deal, as far as staying home. Yeah. And I think a lot of guys, are having an issue with it because they think that it's nothing more than a common cold or something like the flu. They're thinking it's something that everyone can bounce back from, and that is the case. A lot of people are recovering. Many people are.
Yeah.
But you don't know if you're going to be one of those people
you don't know.
specifically that will recover, especially men, because like Ms. Parker was saying, like GK knows, like a lot of men don't go regularly for checkups. So some men are out here not even knowing that they have a serious underlying issue that, they may under normal circumstances get this virus and be okay, but with this underlying thing, it could be terminal for them, or it could be the fight of their life.
Right. Yeah.
So stay home. I don't. It's not. Now everybody want to go to church. Everybody's physically going to church. But before this, not a lot of people was talking about going to church.
Right.
Things of this nature, going to these physical spaces. Stay home. Do some work. Spend
Exactly.
time with your family, or spend time alone with you. Build yourself up and build into some things that are going to help you. I just don't see the big deal. But I wish that people would just stay home.
Stay home. You saw that pastor got arrested for holding church over the weekend. On Sunday, he got arrested.
Right. Right.
All right. Well,
and I get it.
I'm sorry.
I get it. People are I'm sorry. That's me. But I'm getting people are antsy. But come on, man.
Yeah. You really had to stay home. One of my friends was trying to come over the weekend, and I started to let him, but then I saw on Instagram he is everywhere. I said, "Oh no, oh no, you stay there, you stay there." All right, so we all know that people are anticipating receiving upcoming stimulus check to financially support those who are out of work or working reduced hours. But a recent incident suggested that you beware. Now, a man in Florida was warning Americans to be on high alert to be fall victim of the stimulus check scam. So, according to Fox Atlanta, Thomas Andrews from Florida says he received a fake coronavirus relief check in the mail and is warning other Americans to be aware because you could be next. Now, since the stimulus checks won't be mailed out for weeks, Andrew was immediately suspicious when he received his. He said that the outside envelope containing the fake check read, "Time-sensitive, fast-tracked, open immediately," followed by "Important COVID-19 economic stimulus document," enclosed. Andrew said that what added to his suspicion, there was no company name listed on the fraudulent check or a number. So what it turned out was this was a car dealership that sent him the check, and they want you to go try to cash it at that place so you can show up at the car dealership and they try to sell you a car. And so that was kind of shady. But the check, the check papers, right? Yep. Well, and the thing also about this check, if you file your taxes and if you've done direct deposit, the IRS already has your banking information. And so you'll get your money if you qualify. You'll get it sooner. There is a website that you can go on there and update your banking information as well. But if you're getting a paper check, it could take months to get to you. Just keep that in mind. So, Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts on this car dealership?
I just think that's horrible. These times when people are trying to get themselves together and figure out their lives, it's just a horrible time. Be trying to scam people to buying a car.
Right.
A car that they may not be looking for, end up having to leave you the loan anyway. So, I just think that people need to be more mindful that we are a collective community and that that we all need to play our part in our roles in making sure each other's okay, and scamming people is not okay.
Most definitely. Chiga?
I guess hope eternally lives within me because you keep wanting this country to get it together. I keep having hope that we're going to finally see the light and do the right thing. And then you're just going to take this opportunity and try to scam off of it.
Right.
That's the stuff that hell is made of.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, come on.
It's ridiculous. Naya?
That's my response. It's laughable.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. People out here trying to figure it out, trying to stay healthy, and these fools want somebody to come and buy a car get some money off on the car.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I mean, people.
I don't even want to spend.
I said people are literally losing their jobs. Macy's has announced they're laying off a bunch of people. I was literally texting with one of my friends when he got a call today that they're furloughing people on his team. He don't know who it is yet. And his boss was like, I don't even know if I'm going to have a job. So this is real. People need to stop playing when it comes to stuff like that. That's not, you know what I mean?
Right. Where was this? What state was this?
This was in Florida. In Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course, Florida. Well,
the same state that they're not quarantining.
Right, exactly. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with a few more hot topics right back after this.
Doctor
It's been a long time coming out. I overcame all the drama now. I'm going strong on my bounce back. My setback got me on track. Now every day it's a new task. Face my fears covered up underneath the mask. I had to ease my mind from the crazy shit, adjusted for the perfect fit. Scars from my past, but surrounded with the counterfeit. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. Let me catch the grips, control my attitude, let me lock my lips. And when they pop the clips, I push the anchor down, then I rock the ship. Yo, I've been smoking steady, tripping, get the sipping. Told them, listen, I ain't ready for the petty. When I dodge it, I stay ready. Fatal humble, keep it heavy, stay low key. Call me shady, I ain't with it. Tell them critics, I ain't with it. It was kinda hard for me to see. Dreaded pain turn to misery. Lack of love in the families. Jealousy from my enemies. I had to keep it going. Shoulder weight maxed out, keep it flowing. Then I rise above it. Bragging rights, longer nights, I put nothing for it. Chup. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. Yeah. All I need is. Ain't nobody out here living for me. 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 This recovery. So now I'm headed to recovery. Way to recovery. I'm headed to recovery. So now I'm headed to recovery. Gotta recover me. Now I'm headed to recovery. All I need is me. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me.
Whoop! Whoop! Yeah. Step up in the club, they like who that? They like who that? I said they step up in the club, they like who that? Yeah. Step up in the club, they like who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring it to the back. Shorty on the dance floor, I'm trying to get behind that. Who that? Step up in the club, they like who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow a stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring them to the back. Up in VIP with my mama on my lap. Who that? Step up in the club, we party, no comparison. Niggas tryna ball forever. Marvin Harrison, them hoes getting fucked together. Probably sandwich them, you know I'm only about my cheddar. No interfering there, bottle popping up in the air. Money throwing in the sky, I'm tryna make $1 million. That's our all-time high, while you always mad we getting paid. If you ain't from the struggle, my nigga, you can't relate. My focus on the money, most niggas get in the way. You in the way of my success, my nigga, then you astray. Okay, you wonder why I don't talk much, I stay to myself. In the VIP section, drunk around no one else. Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring it to the back. Shorty on the dance floor, I'm trying to get behind that. Who that? Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring them to the back. Up in VIP with my mama on my lap. Who that? You know I'm chasing De Niro, trying to make me $1 million though. Shorty scheming, eye of a demon, don't want no zero. Only chasing them cutthroats, she fucking with the stars. Trying to chase the ball without getting on the job. Me, I'm never worried, a hoe will never turn me on. When money coming in, we battle like it's free for all. You jeopardize that, more reasons to get involved. Stay low, and always keep your circle small. You know they saying why he fly, shorty just trying to get by. I'm trying to get up in the rim bounce, you know how we ride. Pack the club up in the slide, you know the G slide. Can't be with you forever, I need the cheese, man. Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring it to the back. Shorty on the dance floor, I'm trying to get behind that. Who that? Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring them to the back. Up in VIP with my mama on my lap. Who that?
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our official website, StephenKnightShow.com. You can also check us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Just go to our website, StephenKnightShow.com. All right, so Drake finally gave his fans the first look at his son, Adonis, in a new Instagram post where he penned a sweet open letter message. Early Monday, Jersey shared photos of Adonis for the first time as he wrote an open message to express how much he misses his family. Drake said in the message, in part, what is most important to you right now is to connect to your own inner light. This will create the biggest opening of all. Trust that you will have the power within to make it happen. In order to do that, connect to people and things that bring you a lot of joy. When your mind starts to move into overthinking or fear, shift your attention right away or on something bright. Now, Drake first opened about his son Adonis back in 2018 on his album Scorpion, but since then he's been more open about talking about his son in interviews. What were your thoughts on him showing pictures of his son for the first time in the open letter? What are your thoughts, Ms. Parker?
You know, I love me some Drake. Blessings to him and his family. I like more so than the pictures. I love what he wrote. It resonated with me, and it's very important to keep that in mind during these times. Mm-hmm. Someone said that he pretty much had his mother, and I can't unsee that. The baby looks just like his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And I cannot unsee that. But, you know, blessings to him and his family, and you know, it's time for, I think it's important that celebrities also shine light and love as we move forward, because they have an impact on a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of young people. Mm-hmm. So I think the message was important.
Most definitely. Chike?
Yeah, I agree with Ms. Parker. It's nice to see, you know, any type of positivity on social media, because you see so much negative stuff.
Yeah.
And he has a following, and like I've always said, you know, when you have a platform, it's always best, I at least appreciate, when people that have a platform and they have the following like that put out something positive. So
most definitely.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Most definitely. Nair?
Yeah, I'm a huge Drake fan, so that was awesome for me to see. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And it just humanized him a little bit more for me. You know, the guy is already a machine out in the music industry and almost in the world of business as well. So to see him, really show love like that to his baby boy, and even in that post, it was his baby boy, but I think he included the mother as well. It shows that was the baby's mother, right? It shows a great deal of compassion. Well, I hope it was compassion. I hope it wasn't anything but that. And it just felt good. It looked good at a time like this, and it made me see another side of him, which you only heard about, you never saw.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
With regard to him, and his offspring, it was awesome for me. That was really cool. I actually, you were the first because I don't watch the news. I don't really watch much of that stuff. You were the first person that actually showed me that. I got your saw it when I saw it. Even that, that was awesome.
Well, shout out to Drake and to his family Well, the moment I've been waiting for, Tiger King. So I know we all been cooped indoors, so we're pretty much watching the same stuff. Netflix delivered Tiger King just when we thought we had seen it all. Tiger King. Spoiler alert. If you watch the show, then you know that the star of the docuseries, Joe Exotic, is serving 22 years after being convicted in a murder-for-hire plot against his rival, Big Cat Rescue founder Carolyn Bassett. He was also found guilty of several crimes relating to animal abuse. Now, according to The Blast, Joe Exotic has filed an appeal in a federal court to overturn his prison sentence as he maintains his innocence. Joe has been serving his time in Grady County Jail in Oklahoma, but he's reportedly in the process of being transferred to a federal facility. He pled not guilty to the charges and that was brought to light in Tiger King. He believes that he was set up by his ex-zoo partner, Jeff Lowe, and the government agencies. Joe is demanding that his sentence be reviewed by appellate court. He, as part of his sentence, he's also ordered to participate in a mental health program, once released from prison, and he has been ordered to abstain from drinking or using drugs before and after the treatment program. He was also ordered not to have any contact with Carolyn Bassett. Also, in his sentence, when he gets out, Joe will not be allowed to own any species of animal listed as endangered or prohibited by law. He also has to allow officials to do random checks at his home. He believes the court ruled in error and wants the whole sentence tossed out. Joe has been busy with courts as he also filed a $94 million lawsuit against Jeff Lowe along with the U.S. Federal Wildlife Service and United States Department of Interior. What are your thoughts, Ms. Parker? We saw the documentary. We talked about it on Friday. What are your thoughts? Ms. Parker? Chike? Did you see it, Chike?
Oh, yeah. I thought we talked about it last week.
I'm here. I had on.
Let Ms. Parker go first.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Parker.
I'll have a lot to say, but I want to start by saying I'm glad that people started watching it because when you see something crazy and you want to talk about it, but no one has seen it yet.
Yeah.
So I saw it early on when it was released and finished it early last week. So still people hadn't seen it. And I remember I made a post and I didn't get that many responses. People didn't know what I was talking about.
Right. Yeah.
But that's almost like when I watched Blind Love or whatever. Everybody had already watched it and talked about it, so I didn't kind of want to talk about it. But anyways, I was happy to see people are watching it. I will say I think this is going to be the most entertainment we get throughout the whole quarantine. I'm happy about that we were entertained, but I'm also sad because now I'm like, I'm never going to find a show that's as interesting as Tiger King. Like I'm like trying to find shows that can compete with the level of entertainment and just pushiness that I saw. But I do think everyone on that show needs to be behind bars in those same cages they kept those animals in. They have all committed some crime one way or another, including Carol Baskin. I think she killed her husband.
Oh yeah, she killed her husband.
And fed him to that tiger or put him in that septic tank, like they said.
What did she say about the septic tank, Ms. Parker?
She said that what did she say?
That
it was already.
It wouldn't fit. His body wouldn't fit in there. We said, how'd you know? Did she try?
It wouldn't have fitted because it was already operating and sealed. But I do think they're all crazy. I think that Dr. Endis, whatever his name is, and what's his name? The other tiger owner person.
Oh, the one in
Ansel.
Okay, he needs to be locked up because I think he's not only a pedophile that goes after young girls that are impressionable, and he can bring all that and have his cult-like sex slave stuff going on. But I also think that he sleeps with those animals. Honestly, I do.
You think he sleeps with animals?
Yes, I think he sleeps with those animals. And I also think, I'm telling you, crazy. And I also think that he shoots those cats once he's done with them.
Oh yeah.
Because the girl was saying that one day she woke up and her cat was gone, and he said they go somewhere that you can't know about. So in the middle of the night, the cats are being shot or cremated in his cremation. Why don't you have a cremation on site?
Right.
I think he's crazy too. He was arrested recently, according to what the end of the show.
The summer, yeah.
He's been arrested as well for animal cruelty and other things as well. But everyone on that show is a criminal. This man opened a Joe, and Joe is just as crazy as he wants to be. I mean, he needs to stay in a mental institution. Okay, I don't know if they're going to let him out or not, but he leaves prison. He needs to go right to the mental institution and check himself in because he's just a nut.
Yeah,
that boy shot himself in the head 2 months later. He's married to another young man. And what the hell with these young people?
Yeah.
He's easily impressed for young people.
They have nothing.
Then the two guys claiming that they were straight, but he turned. I can't. It's just every episode got worse.
It did. It really did. Chica, what are your thoughts, Chica?
That man's not getting out. He's not getting out anytime soon. When you do cruelty to animals, that's the one thing that they won't forgive.
Yeah.
Especially, think about how people are cruel to African Americans. And if you're going to be cruel to an animal, you'll get off more likely being cruel to an African American than you will to an animal. He's not coming out. He's not getting out.
Remember that reporter said that they intentionally doing the animal cruelty in the case because they knew that would hit the heartstrings more to the jury more than him trying to murder this woman. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and Nair, he saw my post, and Nair said he's gonna check it out because I said this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I saw that post, and because what it is for me is for you to say that because I feel like you've seen it all. You know, you have a very good sense of humor. So you can say something like that. It just had me laughing so hard. I said, "Oh, I gotta check this out."
Oh my god!
This is wild to Steve. Then I need to see it. And sure enough, man, that was the wildest.
Oh my gosh.
Funny, wild, and just, unimaginable. But I get it. These same types of dramas are across industries, but you just never would think that the zoo,
right?
the zoo industry has this kind of drama. And but it was funny. It was a mess to me. Now, the lady, this is what is troubling to me. I don't know if Carol Baskins killed her husband or not. I can't discern the way you guys can. Actually, if she did, it almost feels like this for me. If she did, now I don't put it past her, but if she did, it would kind of surprise me that that she did because, I wouldn't put it past her, but it would surprise me because she doesn't necessarily carry the demeanor of to me of someone that
don't mean anything. You know that. Come on.
I know.
But Nair, she clearly does carry the demeanor, though. She clearly does. She's crazy.
Nair, Stephen Wonder can see that woman kill her husband. Come on now.
Here's the thing. I usually can kind of sense, right, when someone is like a little off for some reason. That doesn't resonate with me from her. It doesn't come across that. She just seems like a aloof to me. She seems like very aloof, and she probably is very peculiar and strange, but she doesn't. Now, she may know some information, but I don't think she's the one who. Maybe she ordered it. I don't know, but it would surprise me a little bit. It wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Not me.
It wouldn't surprise you guys.
I really think she did it, and the crazy thing for me is how she has the nerve to be mad at these people for having zoos, and she's showing the animals in her home. Tell them she rescued them.
But
she making money.
How would she get away with it?
Right.
It's so many people. How would she get away with it? I mean, she is out there. She is not hiding. They can check everything. How would she get away with it so long and so deeply? If I don't. The police are too close to her.
I'm gonna tell you how. Because that show is a plain example of the finest example of white privilege. Replace all those people with a person of color. They wouldn't have made it past the first episode of the foolishness they've done.
That's so true.
So true. That show with a person of color. First of all, the people who are working there, all those drug addicts, they would have been in prison. They wouldn't have had a second chance to work anywhere. And no, I'm serious. Replace every single person in that show with a black person or a person of color, and then we would have had a whole. They wouldn't even have had a series. Okay, so white privilege is on full display. White people are getting away with all kinds of foolishness every single day, and they use their white power. They walk around like, they're untouchable. The fact that he's going out shooting around stuff, shooting at people and rest for guns, we can't do that. We can't have guns in our home for our own safety. Our kids can't have guns in the place to park without getting shot. Come on now.
Joe's white privilege ran out. I even heard him say, I used to believe in the justice system, and I'm thinking you used to believe in it because it didn't affect you.
Right.
And now that you're alive, and he actually said that. I'm thinking in my head, you only believed in it.
You stopped messing with those animals. That's the only reason it ran out.
Well, Joe, he started dropping dimes when they got him. He said, "Okay, I got something for you." He started dropping dimes. I mean, he went to to Peter to tell. that woman looked so shocked.
No, Joe said, "Come on out, Johnny. Come on out."
But you know who the real mastermind was, though? The one that they called the living Chucky doll, whatever his name was.
Who
the dude that looked like the Chucky doll?
Which one?
The guy that looked like the Chucky doll.
The con man who they said was the master of credit cards and stolen Hummers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's the one.
They think they're going after him. They're going after him. Well, Jeff Lowe. Well, this is the last story that we got to go. So, according to the Business Insider, it looks like there may be a shortage of condoms due to the viral pandemic. A company located in Malaysia is responsible for producing one out of every 5 condoms, but because of the shutdown, the company hasn't made a condom in 10 days. On a normal day, the company makes 100 million condoms in a 10-day period. Then they're sold and distributed to Durex. The owner says, we're going to see a global shortage of condoms everywhere, which is going to be scary. And he says this could be for, a shortage that could last for months. Unfortunately, delivery for condoms is also slowed down, so it's taking an extra 18 days to ship them. Do you think with this coronavirus we're going to see a lot of children in about 9 months, Ms. Parker?
I rebuke the devil, honey. That's what I know. It is possible people stuck in the house and can't get a hold of condoms. I honestly think that, by the time they're stuck in the house for 3 months, condoms may not even matter. There's going to be a lot of kids born out because of condom shortage, but I think because people are stuck in the house and bored.
Chica?
So in the medical community, we always joke about blizzard babies.
Yeah.
Because during blizzards, a lot of the nurses, they stay home. They don't really travel. Because a lot of them live far. So they don't travel. And then, 9 months later, here comes Junior.
Yep.
So if you think about just blizzard babies, and I'm just working in the community of the medical field, can you imagine, we're on quarantine for probably be like 2 to 3 months. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some Roro babies out here.
Nadia, go ahead.
Absolutely. December, January, and February next year, we're going to see some booming, some baby booms. We're going to have some names that are going to have to be reflective of the time because there's definitely going to be some babies born. Definitely. People are doing any and everything they can with this time.
Yeah.
Other than something productive,
All right.
I guess that's productive too, though.
I have this meme. I didn't post it, but it has a police officer taking away this woman in handcuffs, and it says, "You must stay in the home, ma'am. The D is not considered essential." Anyway, Miss Parker, thanks so much for Hot Topics. Nair, thank you as well. And check out some movie reviews. Everyone stay safe, wash your hands, and stay home. Stay home.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, right back after this.
Baby, if you only knew things that I wanted to do to you when we first met, thinking like the boys do, then you got me with my nose wide open. Tables turned, now I'm the one who's overprotected. I see them looking when they pass. What I'm gonna do with all that ass? Your beauty is unmatched. I can't help it, I got it bad. I am just human, and I'm possessive, a bit jealous. So you better tell them that you are taken. There is no mistaking. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. We be dancing in the club, sipping on that motel. Think this couple wanna go, take us to the hotel and finish. Feeling on your body, grinding on me slowly. But if we take it there, just know you're mine, and I belong to you. No matter what we do, don't ever get confused. Whoa, lose my mind if we take it too far. And I know you're just a flirt. I don't wanna make things too high. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. If they try and holler, let them know that I'm the truth. You got something special you can't find in any other dude. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. You're only mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine.
Hey mama, I guess I messed up and fell for a picture so perfect I thought it was real, but I couldn't tell, no. Hey mama, I 'cause I'm lost, I'm convinced I could love that man out of his ways. But I'm not okay, no. Oh, mama, I'm colorblind, didn't see the signs. Red flags didn't make me run, no. I was just dumb, oh, I should have been good by now. I should have been. We should have been settling down, we should have been. Oh, I thought if I gave my all, that he was gonna love me back. Love me back, love me back, love me back. And I thought it was okay to fall, 'cause he was gonna love me back. Love me back, not love me back. Love me back, boy. Lord knows you can teach a monkey to fly, and hello don't mean goodbye, and truth don't turn into lies. When it's real, then you know it, babe. Meaning well ain't the same thing, 'cause doing well, baby, I can't keep taking shots in the dark. No, I thought if I gave my all, that he was gonna love me back. Love me back, love me back, love me back. And I thought it was okay to fall, 'cause he was gonna love me back. Love me back, not love me back. Love me back, boy. You don't love me. You don't love me, no. You don't love me. No. Still in love, no. You don't love me. You were supposed to love me back. Still in love, no. Love me.
Hey, what's up? This is Michael K. Williams, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our guest tonight is a television showrunner, director, and writer, and recently released the film M.O.M Mothers of Monsters. She's the writer and director of that. Please help me welcome the very talented Tucia Lyman. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. We were talking a little bit before the interview. You staying safe? What are your feelings with everything going on with this whole coronavirus and everything that's happening?
Oh my gosh, it's a little nuts. And I'm trying to stay positive and informed, but there's also that side of me that says fear is an industry too. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful that we're getting the right kind of information and we're being responsible. Exactly.
And one thing I try not to do is watch the news all day long, because I can do that. And so I've been trying to take it in doses.
It's hard.
It is, because everything's always changing.
It's hard not to. I know.
Absolutely.
I think today said Trump said we were towards the end of it, and then we had the most amount of deaths today.
Right. This I don't understand. I think he's thinking about the economy, not really people's health and lives.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, let's talk about you. Tell us how you got started in this great industry.
You know what? To tell you the truth, I went to college for theater and film.
Okay.
And then I actually was writing and directing plays for many years.
Okay.
That's how I started my writing and directing chops. And then I ended up, you can't make a living in theater, really,
right?
Unless you're huge.
Unfortunately,
and so then I ended up. Right. So I ended up taking some television jobs on the side to pay my bills, and that turned into a very long career where I ended up, producing and then writing and directing television for many years. And the truth is, I do a lot of documentary TV and a lot of docudrama, and I always wanted to do fiction, but you can't really do fiction in documentary television.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always wanted to make films, and so I decided I wrote a film in a screenplay in 2016 called Half Breed.
Okay.
And I submitted it to some contest, and it placed as one of the winners for the Page International Screenwriting Awards.
Yes.
And I thought, oh boy, maybe I can actually do this. My first script wins these big awards.
Exactly, I saw that. Yeah.
of course, we did the budget for it, and it was way too expensive for me to make on my own. So then I decided, you know what, in between my next show, like when this one wraps, I'm going to write another screenplay. I'm going to make it much more affordable. Now, that's why I went with found footage, but I have to tell you that it's kind of a misconception that found footage, at least good found footage films, it's a misconception that you can make them on the cheap and dirty.
Oh, really?
This film, I started off thinking that, and then the truth is, I probably was a little too ambitious in terms of what my budget limitations were with, in some of those scenes, there's 4, 5, 6 cameras.
Wow.
And of course, that costs a lot of time in post when you're trying to figure out which angle to use to tell the best story,
Yeah. Well, now we have Mom. I mean, I have not seen it. Chike swore by this movie. I watched the trailer. There are several trailers out there, and it's like, wow. Where did you come up with this concept?
I've always gravitated towards horror and thriller films, and not necessarily, the slasher films where, a doll comes to life and attacks you and slices you up with a butcher knife. But there's actually some merit to the films too. But I have always kind of been drawn to the ones that deal with real life issues. Like there's horrors every day around us in this country. And I thought it was kind of a unique way to take a look at something that's socially relevant, and at the same time kind of rope in that adrenaline junkie movie fan audience of today, which they're liking. Horrors are trending. There's a reason why paranormal. There's a reason why Parasite and Get Out are winning Academy Awards.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. So in this movie, Abby, who's the mom, she suspects that her teenage son is plotting a school shooting. Her son's Jacob. And then, so she puts cameras around the home to record him and just, see his behaviors or whatnot. But then he finds out. And so he tells her about a family secret, something that she's dealing with. Am I kind of right in that?
Yeah. It's a psychological thriller, so,
right?
Which those thrillers are a subgenre of horror. So there's nothing paranormal about it. It's a real life issue where a mom thinks her son may be plotting a school shooting.
Yeah.
And then he kind of slips through the cracks of the system. He outsmarts his therapist, and so she takes matters into her own hands, and she ends up recording him at home just to figure out. Am I crazy or is he crazy? Is he a hormonal teen? Like a lot of parents are asking these days. My kid is he's a video game addict. He's staying in his room. He's got strange friends. He's saying strange things or not saying anything at all. Does my son have a problem? And it kind of examines that dynamic between a mother and a son. She's a single mom, so she doesn't have a lot of people to consult with. So she takes it. She takes care of it herself. She starts to record him, and of course, it's a psychological thriller, so there's a bit of a roller coaster ride with, so he seems crazy and dangerous, but also mom is seeming a little bit obsessive here. And then, we start to work in other elements. Her, Skype calls with her mother. We start to see kind of a generational breakdown of communication, and then her psychiatrist, who's a dinosaur, who's played by the amazing Ed Asner.
Yes.
He has the old mentality of psychiatry, which is, let's examine your dreams. It's not necessarily 100% listening to your client. So there's a lot of problems in society that it kind of examines, and problems in the mental health. The mental health crisis that we're facing right now.
Most definitely. And now that it's out, what's your feedback? What are you hearing?
You know what? It's such a confrontational film, and I knew that from the get-go.
Right,
we took it to a bunch of different. We took it to all these different studios because we needed money to make it, right? And the studios wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. They literally said to me, "This is way too controversial. There's a reason why movies aren't made about this." And some movies actually were made. Some dramas were made. Talk about Kevin. That film was made.
Yeah.
There's some found footage films that were made. The Dirties. There were some films that touch on the subject, but
but I wanted to kind of humanize something that is a national crisis right now.
Exactly.
And that's youth violence in this country, and school shootings, right? I mean, listen, school shootings are the tip of the iceberg when you start to look at the shootings that are happening in our neighborhoods, in our communities, in our homes. But the parents' worst fear right now is sending their kid off to the fourth grade, and in that phone call that someone opened fire at the elementary school. So I wanted to look at a bunch of different elements that contributed to what I consider a real life horror, horror that is truly unfolding around us every day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, I cannot wait to watch it. I'm watching it tonight. But let's talk about the coronavirus again. How was that, from your vantage point, impacted Hollywood? Because I know everything's shutting down. Some shows are still, like some of the daytime talk shows are there, but they're not having, studio audience, and a lot of the hosts now are hosting from their homes and whatnot. How have you seen it impact Hollywood, this pandemic?
Well, I have to say that, I'm working. I'm doing a documentary series for A&E right now, and we have a full office, and we're working full time, and we were a little bit nervous, but when Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson reported that they tested positive, and then that same day the NBA was closed down. There was that whole whole incident on the court right before they tipped the ball, and that all happened in the same afternoon, early evening, and that the vibe of how serious this was changed very quickly in a matter of an hour at our office. And of course, everyone's working from home. We actually decided that night to have everyone work from home, including me. So we've all been working home and working from home, and I have to tell you that if you're going to buy stock, you should probably buy it in Zoom.
Right.
Because boy, are we having a lot of Zoom meetings. But everyone is really scared right now, and everyone's working from home, and that's a good thing. Of course, the big unknown is how long is this going to last for, and that's scary. When things are unknown, it's scary, and when you're getting misinformation from your own government, that's even scarier. And I think it's kind of a perfect storm of bad information, misinformation, and no results, and it's creating a lot of fear and hysteria right now.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So we're not like, we didn't shut down entirely. We're working from home. We had to put some people on hiatus. I may put myself on hiatus next week so that our casting department can continue working.
Oh wow.
I mean, it is scary, and it's impacting it quite a bit. I mean, a lot of these networks have closed down their shows, certainly their live shows. Like A&E closed down, they shut down live PD because it's not safe for people to be out there filming, casting, or anything. So it's had a big impact. I mean, listen, we had we were scheduled for Friday the 13th of March to have our big red carpet premiere.
Exactly.
And that same day, I was getting calls from our leads, who had every reason to be concerned, who were saying, "Listen, Ed Asner's in his 80s. Like, we're not sure if he should show up at that theater." And then, we had Melinda Page Appleton, who plays Abby in our film. She's working on a million other projects, and she doesn't want to expose herself or her family to something. So she was like, "Listen, if I need to be there, I will, but are you sure we should be doing this?" And of course, this was Friday the 13th. This was this is before Los Angeles closed down. Exactly. But it was right when everyone was starting. So we had to cancel our red carpet premiere, which was the real,
the reveal
we got for us.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get, listen, the horror and thriller outlets, that circuit, has picked up our story like wildfire. I mean, we have so many reviews, I can't even read them anymore because there's so many, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I use this on social media?
Right.
But the critic reception there has been overwhelmingly positive, and I really wasn't expecting that because of how controversial this film was.
Exactly.
But of course, you kind of have to tap into mainstream for a film to have success. And although it seems like we are actually starting to tap in, if you were sitting at home and you look up for on Amazon, new movies, new horror films, our title doesn't pop up yet because we're an indie film. You know what I mean? So we're trying to figure out, okay, well, how do we navigate these, stormy waters of we didn't have a red carpet. We did have a theatrical release, but of course we ended up canceling that when Garcetti closed down all the theaters.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you access all the COVID couch television movie watching?
Exactly. And this would be the best time, everyone's at home and social distancing. Yeah, we
have to figure out how to tap into it. So you had asked, how has the reception been? It's been overwhelmingly positive to the point where I'm reading these reviews. I think the horror industry, their critical mind is so underestimated. Like when I read these reviews, these journalists and critics, they're digging deep. Like they're going into major symbolism, and they're really and I've always respected the horror genre. I've always been a fan,
Right.
But seeing how they review films, they're not just. And I look at their records of like, okay, well, are they always positive about their horror films because of their genre? But they're not. They're actually super critical. The fact that they're responding so positively is really reassuring. And now I think it's just a matter of, okay, well, how do we let the rest of America know that this film is available? Because it's kind of a mind-bending film that people might actually enjoy right now.
Yeah. I can't wait. Like I said, I keep saying I can't wait. I'm going to watch it tonight. I like watching horror movies, films when it's dark and everything's turned off. So I can just focus. I love that. So I can't wait.
I know.
I can't wait.
And films that deal with pandemics like Contagion and films like that. And of course, their sales are skyrocketing right now because everyone is interested in it.
Exactly.
And our distributor, Indie Rights, called me the other day and they said, "Wow, your film is really taking off on Tubi. You must have run a lot of promotions." And I said, "Oh no, as far as I know, our PR company hasn't run any promotions because I just found out it was available on Tubi myself."
Right.
She says, "Well, how are you getting so many sales on Tubi?" And I said, "I don't know." And then she called me back half an hour later, and she said, "I just figured it out. It's your poster."
Yeah.
Because our poster, the key art is a gas mask, and of course, Abby, the mother, her eye is in one of the eye holes. The son, his eye is in the other eye hole, and it looks menacing and scary and relevant, and people are clicking on it on Tubi. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll be on there tonight.
Where do you watch films? Do you watch them on Tubi or Amazon or Netflix?
I watch Amazon, Netflix, Hulu. Those are primarily where I watch most of them.
Yeah, that seems to be the case for most people.
Yeah.
But have you seen many found footage films? Because it's kind of, it's obviously a subgenre, but it's a very different experience.
I think I've seen some in the past, but it's been a while. Do you have recommendations?
So like the first big, found footage films are really tricky. The first big found footage successes were the Blair Witch Project. Which was those documentary filmmakers trying to, find a witch in the woods. They're really exploring this legend, but they all disappear.
Yeah.
And then of course the Paranormal Activity series did really well.
Yes.
Now when I was watching those back in the day when they first came out, I was really distracted by how shaky the cameras were.
Yeah, that's true.
It was. I liked the concept, but I thought that it could have been executed a little bit differently. And listen, those films were huge successes. No slight on them. But for this film, I kind of think the key to making a good found footage film is the hook of that gives your characters a believable reason to be filming in the first place.
That makes a lot of sense.
And if you look at like real world problems right now, there's a lot of people who think their teenage boys are psychopaths. There's a good chance they actually are.
Right. Unfortunately.
So unfortunately, yeah. So the idea of having a mother explore that on her own and not walk around holding a camera, because that's a dead giveaway.
Right.
You're not exactly going to film clandestine footage of your kid if you're holding a camera in his face.
Right.
So she sets up spy cameras, a really elaborate system. She's filming from his smoke detector in the ceiling and a picture frame on the mantle. but they're grounded. They're anchored. Those cameras don't move. So
Right.
you don't get that shaky feel.
Yeah.
That for me was a turnoff for a lot of found footage films. It's that shaky feel. It's like, okay, we're trying to be really real here,
Uh-huh.
shaking it around. Well,
Yeah.
why not take a real concept and anchor it in the freaking corner? You know.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Well, I definitely. Well, tell everyone where we can see Mom. Where are all the places it's streaming?
Well, right now it's streaming on Amazon, and you can get it on Amazon Prime, and then of course you can get it for free on Tubi, which is how apparently a lot of younger folks are watching films right now. So yeah, and you know, we have a website because a lot of people are asking us right now, which I was not expecting, for our soundtrack. A lot of people were really turned on the music in the film, which is, you know, most of the music in the film is written by an incredible alternative hip hop artist named Salvatore Siciliano.
Okay.
So they're asking us for the soundtrack. So right now we've been telling people, listen, join our newsletter on mothersofmonsters.com, mothers plural, mothersofmonsters.com, because, you know, we'll send out some updates, and they're putting a soundtrack together now, and
that's
I'm really,
awesome.
you know, I'm impressed that people are so turned on by the music, because a lot of it was written for this film. You know, found footage.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because what a lot of people quite realize about found footage is that there's a lot of friggin' rules you do not want to break.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect the art form, and part of that is you don't score it. You don't score a found footage film because, of course, the essence of a found footage film is that all of these clips are being seen by some mysterious person on some mysterious computer, and you can't have it scored or it just doesn't make any sense. So you have to source all the music. So all of the music that we use, you know, it's Jacob listening to in his bedroom or on his headphones, or it's coming out of the television or mom's, you know, stereo. And we had to find it ahead of time, and we actually would play it. And it was actually a funny experience. We would play it on set before our cameras rolled, and just to give the actors an idea of what this music sounded like.
Okay.
If you're talking over music, you know, your voice is going to be very different when I'm saying, "Hey, Mr. Knight," as opposed to, "Hey, Mr. Knight,
yeah,
put the music down," right?
exactly.
So we for the first couple takes, we would use the real music in scenes, so the actors understood what they were talking over or what they were listening to.
Yeah.
That drives emotion. I mean, in film, music drives the pacing, the emotional pacing of an entire film. With a found footage film, you have to rely on some other skill sets. So all the music is pre-sourced, played in scene for the first couple takes, and then, of course, you know, for audio purposes, we have to turn the music off. But now at least they know, they have it in their heads, the volume of that music, the lyrics of that music, and how that makes them feel. Does it irritate mom? Does it excite son?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. People learn a lot from you.
Are you what's that?
I said people learn a lot from you. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you if you are a horror thriller fan. Like, is it something that you like to tune into, or only? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I like watching with everything off in the dark. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in.
It's so interesting because I think that right now our brains are kind of being rewired by technology.
Yeah.
And you know, every time we get a like on Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter, we get a little shot of adrenaline. It's like, it's a pleasure endorphin.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's why horror films are trending so much right now. It's like, because horror is about fear, which is about adrenaline, which keeps people coming back for more at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You feel alive, and you want to come back for more. You feel alive. Oh my God.
Very true.
And so I think that right now the reason why that horror thriller genre is speaking so much to our culture is because they're getting that endorphin rush. They're getting that adrenaline hit that they're now being they're accustomed to getting on their different social media platforms or devices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So it's almost like, you know, an addiction of ours, nationwide and probably worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
But people are responding to it, and I thought, people, if that's what's trending, then why not give them something real to actually think about?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of real horror happening. Why not give them that little rush, that little boost, and at the same time, make them think, or at the end of the film, leave them thinking or asking questions. Keeping it kind of seared into our collective consciousness.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I know what I'll be watching tonight, but I want to congratulate you again on the film M.O.M Mothers of Monsters. And what's the website again where they can sign up on the newsletter?
mothersofmonsters.com.
Thank you so much, Tucia Lyman. For more information, go to our website, thestevenknightshow.com, and we thank you again for taking time out your busy schedule.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. You have to watch it, man.
Oh, I definitely will. Trust me, I definitely will. I definitely will.
Hey, you have to pay attention to a lot of the audio cues because there's a lot of hidden stuff in there. There's a reason why they're calling it a cult classic, and that's because there's a lot of hidden messages and storylines that I think is going to activate your brain on many, many levels.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. That's what I'm doing tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on your show, man.
Thank you. You take care.
All right. You too.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
Eyes roll back when I'm staring at the ceiling. Girl, you and I, how many licks just to get to your center? When I beat that batter, girl, I'ma fry them cakes with a cast iron skillet. You wake up, oh, we gon' get it in. Give you my love. We gon' turn this bedroom to a kitchen. Baby, let's get up. Oh, you can't get away. Stop playing, girl, give me them cakes. Girl, between the sheets we rolling. Nothing but love in the moment. I got to have breakfast in bed. Squeezing and teasing. If you put it in my face, I'm eating. Nothing but love in the moment. I got to have breakfast in bed. Go hard like this all day. It feels so good when we shake and bake. When you curl your toes and you grab my hand, this is the sound when we baking, man. Wake up, oh, we gon' get it in. Give you my love. We gon' turn this bedroom into a kitchen. Let's get up. Stop playing, girl, give me them cakes.
Jackpot.
Cut the tail off the snake. Clip it. What does it take for a n*** to be great, huh? A couple M's in the house on the lake. If that's the case, I've been great. You just late, huh? She say I got good taste. Cause I fat with a little waist. So she wanna take me on a little chase. Capture that poop, beat it up, then escape, huh? Yeah, I'm on go. My they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go. Hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Sold millions, old millions. You bitter? Yo feelings, old feelings. Middle finger, boy. Gossiping like ho. I should call them gold diggers, huh? Just like ho. Cut the check. I don't want nothing from you, but the check, huh? Respect, cause any given time, turn for the check, huh? Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Rolly, call some stacks, holy moly, I am back, that's a Tesla, not a act, 80s baby, I was born dope, whip it up, make a dub pack, bought a lack, fixed it up, on dubs now, ho, checking for me, checking for me, got the clout 9, tell them wait a second for me, yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Took a loss, cause of took a loss. Having in a business. Stay out. Soon turn a witness. 40 cal, now you running. Boy, fitness. Drop 800 on some Louis. Yeah, drop 900 on some Gucci. Whoa, drop 2 G's on some Gucci. Strawberry poop, I call her mama smoothie. Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? He got my name in his mouth, take it out. She got my thing in her mouth, can't take it out. No, you out here trolling for the clout, shut your mouth. You being goalie for the clout, hit his spouse. Oh, swaggerlicious, they say chingy this. All white coupe, that's a Mercedes brick. Flip a stack without hitting a lick. E40 with the balls, cause with this I'm sick. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm on go. My they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh?
For that.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Show. Adam, how's it going? How's the self-quarantine, social distance, how's that going for you?
It's going well, it's making the most of it. Actually, the weather was kind of crappy this weekend, so it was pretty encouraging to stay inside. Today was sunny and a little nicer, but yeah, making it work.
Yeah.
How about you?
Can't complain, I'm bored to death, but I'm making it work. Just staring out the window.
Out your I checked out the video you sent for the kickboxing, and that's been pretty helpful too.
Oh yeah. I'll think it's my other ones too. It's obviously good to stay active, and so don't want to become a blob. Exactly. Well, I'll let you and Chica take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I picked it up with 2 movies and a TV show, and the first one is Troop Zero, and this is an Amazon show that came out earlier this year, back in January, by Amazon Studios, and it's about a group of kind of misfit girls in 1970s Georgia that want to create a Girl Scout troop for a certain mission that the main girl has, and I don't want to give away too much, but it does star Viola Davis and Allison Janney and a few others in it, and overall it was okay. It's definitely a light watch. Usually I talk about movies that go a little too long or kind of drag a bit. This one, you get all the characters, but they don't really give you enough depth on each one to learn enough to actually care enough. But again, this is kind of a lighthearted movie, watching the Girl Scouts do their thing and perform their final little performance at the end of the movie. So a fun one to watch. Viola Davis does a good job. Allison Janney, she plays kind of the villainous character, does a great job. So if you're looking for a light watch where you don't have to think too hard or worry too much, definitely check it out, and it's on Amazon streaming, so it's no additional cost if you have Prime. The next movie I saw was one that was also actually released earlier this year in the U.S., and it's a Shaun the Sheep movie called Farmageddon. And for anyone who doesn't know Shaun the Sheep, he was a character actually based off of Wallace and Gromit, and it's a claymation-style movies that have been around since the late 80s, actually. And this one follows Shaun the Sheep, and he gets visited by an alien, and the adventures they go along the way. Definitely a kid's movie, but it hits all the high marks. If you have little ones and you need to give them something new to watch, definitely have them check out Farmageddon. It is on Netflix. And again, it's fun, it's cute, it's a kid's movie, but a lot of good little activities and fun things to watch during that. And to take it in a totally different direction, I finally caught up on True Detective Season 3. And this is, for anyone unaware, the True Detective series are all standalone, so each season is its own story, so you don't need to know any of the other ones to watch this one. But this one stars Mahershala Ali playing the main character, as it follows 3 different time periods of a couple of detectives trying to solve a case in Arkansas in 1980. This one is definitely better than Season 2. So Season 2, I watched a few episodes. I never was able to finish it, and I won't say Season 2 is bad because I haven't finished it, but it didn't keep my interest. The season's better than that, not as good as Season 1, but again, it follows that True Detective theme, and the series creator is kind of back at the helm of this season, and you get that kind of wondering who did it and why and how these timelines mismatch and mix and everything like that. So if you're looking for an HBO series and you haven't seen True Detective yet, check this one out. Again, not as good as Season 1. There's a little bit of parts where it drags on some of the storylines on the characters, but great performances all around by not just Mahershala Ali, but Stephen Dorff as well. So recommend that for all your streaming needs.
Fun fact about True Detective. True Detective was one of those shows that is produced by Hollywood big heads. Matthew McConaughey and what's his name? Woody Harrelson both produced that show. They brought that to television. That's why they starred in the first season, to get the ball rolling. But if you notice now, in a lot of the streaming situations, you have a lot of A-lister Hollywood people producing some of these shows that we love so much in the streaming world. I guess it's a way for them to have their hands in multiple pots.
Yeah.
So,
that's I didn't even know that, so that's nice.
Yeah. So I checked out the movie The Banker, which stars Samuel Jackson, Anthony Mackie, Nia Long, and Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult, actually, you know him. He's Beast in the whole X-Men series. and that streams on Apple TV. This movie actually starts in the 1950s, and it's a true story based off of two African American men who are entrepreneurs who break into the banking industry. They basically become real estate tycoons and eventually work their way into the banking industry, owning a few banks within America. And the plot is that no one knew that the owners of the banks were African American men. They did it with they did it with a Caucasian man as their front man, as they did all the work behind the scenes. This movie was very educational. It was very interesting because I never knew this story. And I must say that this film is also partly put out by Samuel Jackson's production team. So we probably wouldn't have seen any film like this unless someone, probably of African American descent, decided to put that out, because it is a story that never reached any of my history books. I never knew about this. My parents never told me about this. It wasn't a story that actually was even, I guess, in my world, handed down through African American folk tales. So I never knew about this. So it was very educational for me. It was very interesting. And you also learned a bit about real estate in the banking industry. So definitely check that out. And I'm glad that they were able to get this on Apple TV. It was really, really good. And the biggest thing probably in my world and a lot of people that I know's world this weekend was the release of Ozark Season 3, which stars Jason Bateman, Laura Linney, McKinley Belcher, Jessica Francis Dukes, and our friend to the show, he's actually been on the show, Kevin L. Johnson. Listen, I'm at this point with Jason Bateman, anything that he touches, I'm automatically gravitating toward, because ever since Arrested Development, which was a series on television back in probably the late 90s, early 2000s, I've been on his heels. And so everything since then, I've been attracted to with this man. Ozark does not disappoint. It gets better and better with each season. It's one of the better shows on the Netflix brand. If you haven't got into Ozark, I'm urging you, if you love crime, drama, mystery, murder, mayhem, all of that stuff, drug dealing, check out Ozark. It is one of the premier shows on Netflix. And again, season 3 does not disappoint. It started with a bang and it ended with a bang. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Check it out.
Nice.
And that's all I have. I didn't really watch anything else because I was so consumed with Ozark. I couldn't let it go.
Well, I know we talked about it in Hot Topics, but Adam, have you seen Tiger King?
Yeah, Stephen. I remember being the one that told you to watch it. So yeah, I am familiar with it.
Oh,
well, go on, Stephen. Let's pretend I discovered it through you.
No.
How did you like it?
What happened was I kept saying memes. I'm like, who was this guy? So I said, I'm going to watch it. I binge watched it in one day. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe it. It was like, the one thing that stands out to me, we talked about it.
It's awesome.
When that girl, the tiger, bit the girl's arm off and she came back to work, I'm thinking, what? I just, you can't make that stuff up. It was just.
That was like episode 1 or episode 2, right?
Mm-hmm. That was early on, yeah. Yep. But yeah, he's a nut. He's a nut. He's appealing to come out of jail.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you need more, there's a podcast actually that came out because if you remember at the beginning of this documentary, it was 5 years in the making. So they started in 2014. So there's a lot that came out between that, between when they started and when it aired for us. And apparently the podcast does a really good job of actually digging deeper into the Joe Exotic story and things like that. So if you're looking for more to consume and you like podcasts, check that out.
Most definitely. I mean, craziness.
The best way to describe that show is it's a beautiful train wreck, and it's something that you just cannot walk away from, because once you step into that world, you're not letting it go. And I'm starting to see, like, the people on social media starting to post more and more about it slowly. And basically, their response is all the same. It's like, what in the mess am I watching?
Yes.
What is this insanity?
Yes. I started watching it. And I started getting sleepy on the third episode. I pressed pause, took a nap, and woke back up and started watching it again. That's what I can't miss this. I cannot miss this. It's just, it was crazy. So many different layers.
Yeah. I will say, it's funny you say third episode because that was kind of one of the slower episodes. And that was more of the Carol episode. But I felt like it dragged a little bit there, and then it picked back up afterwards.
That Carol's a nut, too. She ain't slick. She knows she killed that husband.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who knows? There's like 4 more documentaries you can make after that.
Yeah, exactly.
On all the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to do a quick mention of two shows on my radar, and one is, and Chike, you might be interested in this. This sounds like one called The Platform. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I've actually. It's on mine too. It's on my list too.
Yeah, and so for anyone unaware, it looks like it's a foreign film. It might be Spanish, or at least they're speaking Spanish in the movie, and it's a prison that has multiple floors, and there's 2 prisoners on each floor, and it's a small room, and each floor food gets lowered down, so the people on the top floors get the best of the food, and as you go lower, there's less and less food for everyone, and it's kind of like one of those psychological thriller ones where what happens, or what does this one guy decide to do when this whole system is kind of in place. It seems weird. It kind of reminds me of that movie Cube from the 90s. I don't know if you remember that, Chike, where the prisoners wake up and they're in a series of cubes. So it had that vibe for me, but definitely on my list. And then Self-Made, the life of Madam C.J. Walker. It's been getting great reviews.
I watched it today.
As well.
I watched it today.
Okay, and did you the whole series?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, it's good that you fit it in your work schedule to watch the whole series. No judgment. But you liked it?
I did. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I did.
Okay, yeah, because that's also on my list.
I think that I think you'll enjoy it. But once you watch it, because Steve and I both watched it, we'll talk about it more after you watch it.
Okay, perfect. And there's only 4 episodes, so that's kind of good.
Yeah.
Easy watch.
Yeah. Okay, is that it?
That's it for me.
That's it for me. There's a couple of movies that I want to check out. I saw a movie. I'm a Ben Affleck fan. I like some of the movies that he does. And there's a movie that he's in called The Way Back. I want to check that out, see how good that is compared to some of his other stuff.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you for letting us know what to, I won't say spend money because I'm not really spending money right now, but what to waste our time on, what not to. But have a great week. We'll talk next Monday.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right back after this.
All night long, she 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 all on me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. Tell me what you came for. Did you come to play with it? Did you come to be my bad girl? Hey, damn it, be ashamed, gripping on your waist. Go on ahead now. We grinding, we wildin', cause we don't care. We wildin', we rubbing like no one's there. If I push up on it, will you go there? Trust me, you'll go there. All night long, she all on me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. All night long, she all on me. When she want that, she call on me. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. 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 Back up one time, touch it back on it. Back up one time, touch it back on it. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that. Tell me, can you handle it? Tell me right now before we walk out this club, girl. Hey, baby, where your hands? Thought you had a man, no, damn, baby. We grinding, we wildin', cause we don't care. Hey. We wildin', we rubbing like no one's here. Wait if I push up on it, will you go there? Hey, baby, trust me, you'll go there. All night long, she all on me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. All night long, she all on me. when she want that, she calling me. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that. Back up one time, touch it back on it. Back up one time, touch it back on it. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. All night long, she all on me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. All night long, she all on me. When she want that, she call on me. All night long, she 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 all night long. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that. Back up one time, touch it back on it. Back up one time, touch it back on it. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Aaron Cosby, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. What about you?
I'm doing good. Are you staying self-quarantined? Social distancing?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
So how is it like there in North Carolina with all this going on?
It's fine. It's the same. Like, there's not as many people in the stores.
Yeah.
Usually is, which is not bad. I mean, you can get in, get out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, people are still exercising outside.
Mm-hmm.
They're riding their bikes. They're jogging. Like, people are still moving and living life and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that students especially, we're just a little frustrated,
right?
Because we're so used to going on campus to our classes, and we have a routine, and now that routine has been
disrupted.
I guess it's been changed.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. So it's
Are you all doing your classes online?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I know not much
sports though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What's even going on in sports, man? There's nothing really going on.
Everything's shut down. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can talk about this though.
Okay.
The Summer Olympics. So we all know that it has been postponed
right.
to 2021.
Well,
the new date has been announced, and it'll be July 23rd to August 8th.
Okay.
2021.
Okay.
Tokyo Olympics 2021, July 23rd, August 8th.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I just saw this, man. Oh, man, I just saw this a second ago. Doris Burke. Do you know who Doris Burke is?
Who is it?
Okay, she's an analyst for ESPN.
Okay.
Because that basketball game, she's awesome. Like, she is really good at her job. But anyway, she tested positive for.
Oh wow. Man.
Hope that she gets well soon, because she's, like I said, she is a fantastic announcer.
That's all.
Like, she does. She can actually teach it. Like, she can teach students how to actually do sports.
Oh yeah, I know her face. I don't know her name, but yeah.
Like, she is very, very. I mean, she's just on it. Like, she's
Yeah.
very thorough, and she's good. Like,
She has the right questions. Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
Right. So, wishing her speedy recovery.
Most definitely.
And, I don't know if you saw the images that was going on social media this past weekend with regards to 3/28. March 28th.
What happened?
Do those numbers ring a bell to you? 3/28.
Nope. What is it?
A team had a 28-3 lead.
Oh, Falcons.
Yeah. So people posted they took a screenshot of the score, and it's I'm looking at 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third quarter. 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Falcons had a 28-3.
Yeah.
They lost it. And bro, I remember when that happened, like a couple years ago. I was like, I talked about that for what?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And now it's come back, and I thought that I had let it go, and I moved on, which I have. Whatever. They lost. They sucked at the time. I mean, no, they didn't suck. No. I don't want the Falcons had it. Anyway, moving on.
Right.
Moving on.
Live in 2020.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, that's all I got. Sports.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
nothing, man.
Yeah, I know it's dead. It's dead. But well, thank you for joining us, and stay safe. Wash your hands, and continue to social distance yourself.
Absolutely.
All right.
Will do.
Right back after this.
Every time I turn around, you say I be doing too much. But when I stop doing too much, I'm not doing enough. Every time I turn around, you say I be doing too much. But when I stop doing too much, I'm not doing enough. Coming around, but you steady putting me down. I don't know what it's about. You bringing me in, but you kicking me out. Is it all for the clout? Tryna be there, tryna be fair. You fail to notice all my attempts. Like you a job and I'm just a temp. I'm finna blow up on you like a blimp. I should've never showed you when he's temp. Yeah. I was so blind, I didn't know. I gave you my heart, you gutted my soul. I'll just be fine with being a hoe, yeah. Every time I turn around, you say I be doing too much. But when I stop doing too much.
This is Janera, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Well, that's our show. Special shout out to Tucia Lyman for joining us tonight. Go check out M.O.M. It's on Amazon Prime. You will love it. And hope you have a great week. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And see you next Monday. Good night.
Tonight as long as on me, everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty